AJ Pierzynski is going to be there. I have just really enjoyed the broadcast on FS1 and occasionally on FS2 that we've gotten here. I love the back and forth with AJ and Adam Wainwright. Amin does a great job with his kind of Bob Costas sound right between them. It has been a great broadcast. And I don't just say that to butter you up, AJ. I really mean it. It's been really good. Are you guys having fun?
Yeah, it's been great, guys. I mean, first of all, what a great series. Let's talk about the series. Incredible series. Back and forth. It's been fun to watch. The strategy of both of these managers is incredible, and what they have to deal with when you get to talk to these guys on when to deploy certain pitchers and when to do this and when to do that, when pitch hitters, because both these teams pinch hit for guys, and how do I get this guy off the board so we can have this guy ready? It's been fascinating. If you're a lover of baseball strategy, this series has it. If you're a lover of a lot of hits and a lot of runs and a lot of this and that, it's probably not the series for you, because both these teams haven't exactly pounded the ball. Each has had one game where they've done things, but it has been a fun series. And then, of course, it comes down to a game 5 and, winner take all, which we're all for.
This strategery that you speak of, AJ, was it as present 20 years ago?
No, because starting pitchers went longer in the games. I mean, you would have seen Luis Castillo, with the way he was pitching in game 2, come out of the game. You never would have seen, George Kirby gave up the 1 home run. He would have probably stayed in the game. A winner take all game. Casey Mize comes out after 3 innings? I think it was in the 3rd inning, after 3 innings, and he hadn't given up, I don't think anything, or maybe 1 run. Game 3, Logan Gilbert went deep. He would have got another inning back 20 years ago. So it's a different game now. I get it. But now you get into the point where all these hitters have seen these pitchers multiple times. All the guys are a little bit tired because they pitched 4 out of 5 or, every other day. And so it's now is when it's really, really interesting, because all hands on deck. I'm not surprised Kirby's starting tonight. I was a little bit surprised because the way Castillo has pitched when Skubal's pitched, he's beat him twice this year. But at the same time, George Kirby's the guy you pick to go game 1. You have Castillo for bulk if you need him. So I think you'll see anybody and everybody today for both teams. Now, Skubal's a little bit different because he's their guy. So he's going to be out there as long as he can, as long as he's pitching well. But for the Mariners, you could see anybody and everybody pitch today.
So in thinking about Skubal, and the Mariners have beaten him 3 times this year for whatever reason, they've kind of had his number. He's never looked as comfortable against them. I started thinking about why sometimes hitters might just see great pitchers really well. So I spent a few minutes on the AJ Pierzynski baseball reference page yesterday. And maybe these numbers are familiar to you, maybe not. Do you know what your OPS was against Jake Arrieta? Great pitcher.
I know I hit him really well. I don't know what it was. But I know that
You turned him into the worst pitcher on the planet. Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux, 11-18 versus Greg Maddux, 975 versus Zach Greinke. Those are like the top 3 great pitchers that you hit really well against. I bring that up just to ask you, how do you approach a great pitcher, or is it just kind of some guys you just see well and some you don't?
Well, certain guys match up well with your swing. I'll say this. Greg Maddux threw strikes, and I swung at everything. So when I face guys that threw strikes, I usually hit them better. I'll be honest. You focus in a little bit better when you're facing the best of the best, okay? Zach Greinke was from Orlando. And where I'm from. And so there was a little bit of personal, and there was some back and forth between him and I. So there was a little bit of personal stuff. They dug into that one with Greinke. Now, Jake Arrieta is the outlier, but he threw, listen, there was one thing I could hit. It was a curveball, and he threw curveballs, and I can always hit curveballs. So if you threw me a curveball, I was ready, and that was just luck for Jake Arrieta. So that's funny. I also got a lot of those hits before he was like the no-hitter, impossible to hit guy, Jake Arrieta, like when he was with the Orioles. Before he became the really good guy. So that's maybe those stats are a little bit deceiving, but I'll take them. And as far as Skubal goes, listen, here's the deal. He hasn't exactly gotten pounded. I mean, even in game 2 of this series, basically he made 2 mistakes and Polanco didn't miss them. So for me, the thing is you get him out of the game. And the Tigers did a really good job of this in game 2. You foul off a bunch of pitches. You make the pitch counts deep. If you're going to punch out, don't punch out on 3 pitches, punch out on 6 pitches. Right? And then that runs that pitch count up. to where he can't go 8 or 9 innings, and we get him maybe in the 6th or 7th inning where he's a little bit tired. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's got to be your strategy. Because I know we've gone into games, and I faced Justin Verlander a lot, and I faced, Pedro Martinez back when he was Pedro Martinez, and you're going, all right, how do we get this guy to the game? Because no matter who they bring in next, it's not going to be as good as this game, as this guy who's in the game. And you try to, you take the first pitch a lot. And if you get to 2 strikes, it's not about putting it in play. It's about how many can I foul off in a row to force him to throw more pitches. And I think that's got to be the Mariners' game plan, along with, hey, let's have Cal or Polanco or J-Rod or whoever it is in that lineup run into one and put us on the board.
We could talk about 50 guys on these rosters between the teams and how they're going to deploy them and the bullpen and everything else. What's interesting, AJ, right before you popped on, I thought, who's going to play a very big role tonight? That umpire behind home plate. Calling and what the stuff that Skubal has. I mean, Kirby may hit 100 again, as he did in the first inning in the other game. And how big a deal can that blue be behind home plate and making sure he's on it?
Well, if he calls the high strike for George Kirby, the Tigers could have a long night. I think it's Alan Porter who's the crew chief. So that means he's supposed to be the best, the most experienced back there of the crew, and they put him there for Game 5 in case it comes to this. So here, boom, it worked out for MLB. If he's still on the high strike for George Kirby, because he throws that fastball right at the top of the zone, that's kind of his game, and then he throws the other pitches off of that pitch. If he's getting that, it could be a really long night for the Tigers, because if they got to cover that, and I'm not saying, when I say cover, listen, the Tigers swing and the Tigers strike out, we all know that, right? But if they get that pitch called and they have to go a little bit, that makes you go out of the zone a little bit higher. And if George Kirby's throwing his riding fastball up at the top of the zone and Alan Porter's calling it, oh boy, it could be a long night for the Tigers, and you guys could have a nice celebration on your hands here in Seattle.
By the way, 75 plate appearances against Verlander in your career, most of any pitcher?
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
Lucky you.
I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I was in the AL Central for a long time, so I've spent a lot of time in Cleveland, Detroit, Minnesota, Chicago, Kansas City. And when I go and do, I was just in Detroit for, 3 days or 4 days, whatever it was for that. I mean, listen, I know all the ins and outs of those places. I've been there a lot of times.
AJ, is that why you love them so much? Like the Mariner fans just think you're a Detroit Tiger lover.
Love them. I mean, I don't know if they know my history or not, but I mean, I had a lot of battles against the Tigers, and we didn't exactly get along all the time. So listen. I mean, you know what, Brock, I'll say this. You know what's great? And your boy Benetti, who's obviously Mr. Tiger lover, right? He just texts me the whole game just so I say positive things about the Tigers. That's it. I just, it's always only Tigers. Oh, here's my thing. You can get DM or tweets and DMs with each other. It's one is, why do you hate the Tigers? And then the next one is, why do you hate the Mariners? Or why do you love the Tigers? Why do you love It's like, dude, I don't care. I honestly do not care who wins.
You might hate the Tigers a little bit, though. I mean, and I wouldn't blame you. I mean, they're not going to let you do Cubs series, right? That's just common sense.
Well, no, I've done them. I've done plenty of Cubs games, right? And but here's the thing: if that goes out the window, I did a White Sox series in 2021 against the Astros. And I was getting texts from people that I know that were like, why do you hate the White Sox so much? Well, because the Astros, guess what, are kicking their ass. So we talk about the team who's kicking the other team's ass. I'm sorry. Yes. If they're winning, if your team is not winning, okay, and because we get to, and listen, yes, we all want these local broadcasters to do the game. I get it. I 100% get it, okay, because you listen to them every day and you're used to everything they say, and they're only positive for your team, okay? But here's the thing. If your team is getting your ass kicked by the other team, guess what you're going to hear? Negative out of the announcers. If your team is winning, guess what you're going to hear? Oh, man, my team is great. They love our team. Yeah, because guess what? Your team is winning. So you hear positive stuff coming out because guess what? Positive things are happening on the field. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Mariners fans. I love Seattle. Listen, I have a lot of great memories in Seattle. For people that don't know, I hit my first big league homer at T-Mobile back when it was Safeco, okay? I caught a perfect game at Safeco. I love Seattle. The only thing I hate about Seattle is from where I live, it's so damn far. If it wasn't 17 hours on a plane, I'd come to Seattle all the time. I go to Seahawks games. They're my team. I root for the Bears just because my kids do, but I root for the Seahawks for years. I was on the field for the Seahawks-Bucks game on Sunday in Seahawks gear, okay? So let's calm down on hate Seattle. I love Seattle. I'm staring out my hotel room at the Space Needle right now. I think the city's awesome. So let's calm down with I hate everybody speech, because we don't.
That was a great.
That was pretty good rant right there. Yeah, we may
really
send that
good.
to Awful Announcing and see what they think of that. May send that to your old friend Luis Cornetta, who is a mutual friend of ours, and see what she thinks of that
I love
rant.
these cities.
Yeah?
I like Detroit too. I'll be honest. I mean, I loved it. I was walking around Detroit. I walked down the river yesterday. You know, got me a coney at the American Coney and Lafayette Coney. You don't know there's
AJ, you don't have to say you love
places
Detroit.
next door.
AJ, it's okay. You don't have to say you love. Nobody loves Detroit. You don't have to say that. You don't have to say you love the city of Detroit.
Hey, it's gotten a lot better. I don't know the last time you were there, but 20 years ago it wasn't so good. Now, downtown, they fixed it up. It's pretty nice. The Shinola Hotel, it's nice.
How loud is T-Mobile really? You've been in so many venues, big games, big moments, all of it. Is T-Mobile and does it rock as much as any place rocks?
It does rock. I love that place. I hope. Well, I don't know if I hope the roof is closed because it'll make it even better. Because it's kind of, it's kind of your typical Seattle morning. So I don't know if the sun's coming out later or what, but it rocks, man. The fans are into it. It's sold out, and they love their teams here, and it's great. I'd never been to a game at Lumen until Sunday, and wow, impressive, right? But T-Mobile for a baseball field, I'm not going to say it's as. I played in the Kingdome too with Griffey and those guys, so it was a little bit different because it was enclosed. But Lumen, when it gets going, T-Mobile is as good as it gets in Major League Baseball because the fans, the tridents, the towels, everything they have. I mean, my favorite was back when they had the Felix Hernandez, the King's Court or whatever it was down the left field line. And every time you get to 2 strikes and you're batting, and you're like, damn, I don't want to strike out because they're going to go crazy.
Talking to AJ Pierzynski, I want to ask you about Cal Raleigh. We've obviously spent most of the year talking about him, and I know we've even chatted with you about him before. Getting a chance to watch him every day here for the last 4 games and one more tonight, how impressed have you been with just the way Cal handles his business?
What's the most impressive? I don't know if you guys have ever talked to Cal. Talking to Cal Raleigh is probably the most impressive thing. Like, does he have a heartbeat? Does he get excited about anything? I mean, he always has the same look on his face. He never changes. That's what's impressive. The most impressive thing to me is he never changes his facial expression. There's a ball. Logan Gilbert throws a splitter in the dirt, 52 feet. He blocks it with his chest protector. He takes his mask off, and he still has the same look on his face. I would have been like pissed. I would have been like, dude, you're killing me back here, bro. I need some help. And he just has the same look on his face no matter what happens. And for me, listen, I've been saying this since like June. He's the MVP of the American League for me because of what he does, not only offensively, but defensively. And, throwing the 60 homers and all that. He's really impressive to watch. He doesn't take days off. He's got the platinum glove. And as a former catcher, of course, I'm going to love on the catcher.
Well, I did want to ask you about one catch he made, just as a former catcher. If you go back to game 1, when Vargas comes in the last inning there, 11th inning, and he's throwing 100 miles an hour and doesn't seem to have much of an idea where it's going. He's already got one pass ball. It was either the next pitch or 2 pitches after that. He yanked 100-mile-an-hour glove side fastball to Cal's right foot that was extended because he was doing the 1 foot, the one leg straight thing. And he just casually reaches over and backhands that off his right foot. How hard is that to do with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball nowhere near its location?
Well, it's next to impossible. But again, that's how you go through a whole season and have 0 pass balls. He had 0 pass balls, and he caught 1,100 innings, I think, this year. 0 pass balls, which is one of the stats that I've seen, and I'm like, there's no way, because you're going to miss the ball every once in a while and have a guy pick up a base, but he hasn't done it. So that's, to me, is what's impressive. He moves really well for the big dumper. He moves really well back there. He's a great target. If you talk to Adam Wainwright, he's like, man, this guy gives you a good target. He's big back there, and he's athletic. I think people don't think he's athletic because obviously his nickname and because of the way he looks, but he can move back there. He's quick. He can throw. I think people forget that he can really throw. Listen, he's as impressive, and watching Julio out there run around is awesome too.
Hey, AJ, last thing for me. You baseball guys, we're about 9 hours from first pitch. You guys seem to know what's going to come before it comes. You just kind of have a feel that us casual or very passionate fans will watch and just be amazed at, man, how did they know that was coming? What do you see 9 hours from now in T-Mobile? What are going to be some of the biggest keys?
Oh, geez. Right now I'm ironing my clothes. Does that count for anything? I mean, I'm trying to get ready, so y'all interrupted my ironing service. What do I see? You know what? I see a great game. I see a game similar to game one and game two. I see a low scoring, whoever gets the hit, right? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Mariners to get that hit, or is it going to be the Tigers? I fully expect a Skubal to go out and be good. I fully expect George Kirby to go out and pitch really well, because the Mariners pitch really well at this park, and they have one of the best home records in Major League Baseball. And I just think it's going to come down to, late in the game, somebody's going to come up. And it might not be Cal, it might not be Julio, it might not be Riley Green. It might be somebody different. It might be a Dom Canzone if he's still in there. It might be a Luke Raley if he comes in to pinch it. It's going to be somebody, or it might be, Jahmai Jones for the Tigers. Somebody's going to come up and get a hit that's going to win them a series, and they're going to go down as heroes in their town forever. And I don't think it's going to be a big name. I think it's going to be somebody else that we haven't talked about as much. And that's it. Because playoffs come down to that. It comes down to who can get the big hit at the right time. And especially when you're facing great pitching. We'll see. It usually comes later in the game, and then those people are remembered forever.
You do that ironing, you're not pulling a John Smoltz, right? You're not ironing it while it's on?
No, not on my shirt. No. I know I have burnt myself before. So, yes, I have learned my lesson that please do not do that.
And that story's apparently not true, but that is one of the great urban legends in baseball. I know it's probably not true, but that's got to be one of the great baseball urban legends, that John Smoltz burned himself while ironing a shirt that he was wearing.
Well, I do know a guy. I did play with a guy. I'm not going to use his name. That did do that also, and he did burn himself. And
Was
he had
it
the marks
Steve
to prove
Lyons?
it, so. No, it was not. He just pulled his pants down on TV. So.
Could have been Steve Lyons.
It could have been.
Hey,
all right, before I go, I have a question for y'all, because I learned this last time I was here. Do you guys like Seattle dogs?
Yeah. Yeah, a little cream cheese on there. It sounds gross, but it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We had them last time we were here, and I had never heard of it until it was at the Hawks game, and they were selling these Seattle dogs. So I was with the security guard, and I said, "What the heck is that?" And he explained it to me. He goes, "They're really good." So we tried one. It was delicious. I just didn't know that was a thing. Like, you come to Seattle, you think of fish, and you think of, I love the sushi and the Asian food you guys have here. So I'm always like, last night I had Din Tai Fung because we don't have it on the East Coast.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, shameless plug, right? But I never thought of a Seattle hot dog.
It's oddly really good. It doesn't really taste like cream cheese either. It just sort of enhances the flavor. I don't know. It's sort of hard to describe, right?
Agreed. And now that I've had one, I want another one. So I got to find the best place here for
a little fat on fat. Fat on fat's always good. Just a little added
fat on fat. All right.
Yes. Brock, you know this. This is what announcers do. We try to find better places to eat all the time. Just where can we eat? What can I eat next?
AJ,
still fit in my suit. Yep.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Seriously, it really has been a lot of fun listening to that group. You guys have great chemistry together. Did you know Wainwright well before this?
Well, I played with him in 2014 with the Cardinals.
Okay.
So we were teammates back in the best part is I caught him. So you guys mentioned Jake Arrieta. 2014, I get released by the Red Sox. So I had 17 days off. And the Cardinals signed me. Yachty goes down. So the Cardinals signed me. I thought my career was over. The Cardinals signed me. My first start is in Wrigley Field against Arrieta. I hadn't touched the bat 17 days, 3 hits. Sorry about it. Off Jake Arrieta, who was just becoming the real good Jake Arrieta. And Wainwright pitches that game, and we win. I think we win 1-0, or I don't know, whatever. First start, he goes like 7 shutty, and I don't think I caught him again. I think I caught him one more time. He's like, "Oh no, I want the other guy because he's not good enough." I'm like, "What do you want, Waino, for me?" I mean, geez, First time I've ever caught you. I think the next time we went to Miami and he didn't pitch great or something. I don't know, whatever. But then, so it's kind of a running joke. But no, Waino's great. Adam Amin is one of my favorite guys to work with. He just enjoys the moment. He's so fun. He's present, right? And he's into the moment. He wants to be excited over big moments. And it's a great team, and all the behind the scenes people do an amazing job matching what we're talking about with shots. So Fox does baseball better than anybody. I'm sorry. But no, we have a great crew, so thank you guys.
Pretty cool. Well, thank you. We've got about 5. We're having Michael Barrett on in about 10 minutes just to give you the other side of this. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Tell him I didn't say hello, okay? Because I don't think I have spoken to him since, but it's really tough.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it. That's great stuff. That's AJ Pierzynski, who's got on the call again for Fox tonight. For those who don't remember, he and Michael Barrett had a dust up at home plate in a Chicago series, Cubs versus White Sox, and they went at it. It was awesome. It's one of my favorite fights you'll see in baseball. I didn't realize there was still animosity, though. That's kind of cool to hear. Tell him I don't say hello. Yeah. I don't even know what Michael Barrett's doing now.